sisters, or I doubt there's any sisters, but brothers, whoever is watching this. Kind of want to talk a little bit. You guys know I love talking about God. Like, to me, there's no better conversation to have than God. I know most people like to talk about, politics, Trump, Biden, or maybe about a new movie they saw last Friday night. But to me, I think the conversation on God is the best one. But over here, I'm in this nice field. Over here, I grew up playing soccer my whole life. And so I got a lot of nostalgia here. And I like being outside. It actually gives me more motivation to read my Quran. The Quran is a very beautiful book. Every time I read it, it feels like God's talking to me. But I wanted to talk a little bit about my prayer. For those who don't know, in Islam, you're supposed to pray 5 times per day. You have, I don't have the names memorized completely, but I know the morning one is Fajr. And again, I apologize if I mispronounce things. I'm only on day 3 or day 4 of being a Muslim. But all I'm going to say, bro, is like, there's a difference between praying 5 times a day and only praying every once in a while. Because when I was Christian, I would really only pray. Well, I had a rule for myself where I only prayed morning before I eat and at night. And every once in a while I would pray during the day. Like, I would just pray anytime I felt nervous or anytime I felt like that. But I was talking to my shaykh and I asked him, why do we pray 5 times a day? And he told me that it's to remember who truly is the Most High, the one creator above us all. And he was explaining about how it keeps us humble enough to remember that he's there, because when you only pray every once in a while, or you only pray once a day, throughout the day you kind of forget God. And I realized that too when I was Christian. And I'm not here to diss Christians, all right? I'm just talking my experience, all right? But when I would only pray like every once in a while, or when I would just pray like to a lesser amount, I would go throughout the day kind of just forgetting. Like, I would just think about other things. I would think about, what I'm going to eat when I get home, when I'm eating this or eating that, or maybe I have an errand to do. Maybe my mom wants me to go to Walmart, get some groceries. I don't know. Like, I'll think about other things. But now that I've been Muslim for 3 days, what I notice is that my mind's just on God. Like, I'm just thinking about, why do we pray? Why does God do these things? Why is it that God has blessed me with so much goodness in the world? Why is it that certain parts in the world, in certain parts in the world, some people are Muslims, some people are Christians, some people are Catholics, some people are agnostic, some people are Buddhist. And I just keep thinking about the idea of God. And, it feels very reassuring knowing that there's one creator who gave us a purpose to, it's not just this life we live, but it's also the hereafter. And I was just thinking about that. And when the Shaykh gave me that answer, and now that I've done praying 5 times a day for the last 2 days in a row, right now it's like 12 right now. So the next prayer, I now have a timer. I have an alarm that gives me notifications every time I'm supposed to pray, and then I face Mecca. That app, I forgot what the app is called, but if you just search up on the Play Store or Apple Store, you search up, apps for Muslims, there's this one that has a green icon, and it shows you a compass so that you can pray towards Mecca, so that you can find what time to pray. It also gives you Quran verses, so it's a very beautiful app. I think I'm gonna link it, description down below, or not description, but in the comment section, so I'm gonna pin the comment. But I was just thinking about that, and when I pray those 5 times, every time, it's not just like, oh, I gotta do it again. It's more like, man, I can't wait. Like, it truly feels like, oh man, I can't wait to talk to the Creator. I can't wait to talk to the one true God. And sorry for looking around. I was I'm kind of talking about God. There's no better conversation to have. But I'm just thinking about, like, man, I can't wait to pray. I can't wait to read my Quran. I can't wait to read the truth. I can't wait to do that. And it reminds you about the great Creator. And the other response he gave me is, he also said it's almost as a reminder for Satan to stay away from you. Because when you become Muslim, for those who don't know, the word Muslim means to submit to God. When you submit to God, God protects you and God keeps you safe. And in those prayers remind Satan to say, hey, look, bro, this ain't your territory. This ain't your place. We over here believe in God. And because we believe in God, We believe that the Satan is all evil and we hate him completely. When you're in the world and you're not praying to God, you almost invite Satan. You're almost like Satan. Hey, yo, what's up, man? Pull up to the crib. When you're Muslim and even when you're Christian, you're almost telling him like, nah, bro, you ain't welcome here. You ain't welcome. It's like having that guy who, like, I don't know, bullied you in high school, and then you don't want to talk to him, and then later on you're like some rich guy and he's like working at McDonald's. You go to him and you're like, bro, you ain't welcome here, bro. We don't care. That's kind of how it's like. It's kind of like, by the way, forgive your brothers and sisters, okay? But praying these 5 times gives me strength. And I said this in my last video, but I don't think I emphasized it a lot. But I used to wake up every morning, and I've always loved waking up in sunrise, seeing how it's dark and then there's light. It's beautiful creation of God. Even when I was agnostic, that's how I felt. But for some reason recently, in these last few days, I've been able to wake up at 5 a.m. without a timer. Like, I wake up with energy. It used to be I would wake up, drink coffee, then I would get energy. Now it's I wake up and I got this energy because for Fajr prayer is my favorite, by the way. For Fajr, you're praying to God and you're reminded that He is the all-powerful, the Almighty. And it's one of the most beautiful feelings out there. It feels like man, God has me covered. God has me, there. And to be reminded every morning about the beautiful creation of the Lord, the one true God, the true Creator, and seeing all the efforts of all the other prophets, Abraham, Moses, Jesus, Muhammad, peace be upon them all, seeing all their sacrifice, seeing everything they gave for us so that we can learn about the one true Creator and so that He could speak to us through the Quran, has been beautiful. And then even just the position, because when I was Christian, I would only really get on my knees. But when you get all the way, you're bowing down, you almost feel a sense of, yeah, He's here. He's here. It's just here. But I don't know. This is a random video. I kind of want to keep up with my journey towards Islam. Every day I'm listening to podcasts on different shites, different conversations, different, conversation about the one true God. I've been trying to learn a lot more about the Quran. I love learning about, the story of all the other prophets, peace be upon them. And I love learning about the story of, I think one of my favorite videos recently has been seeing other people learn about Islam, because I can remember when I first learned about it, I was just kind of like, terrorist religion, oh, no one cares about it. But when you actually delve deep into it, it just feels like every day it gets more reassuring that this is the one truth, the truth that I felt like I got pushed away from growing up. And I won't lie to you, sometimes I see people who are Arabic, who were born into Islam, who were born into just being Muslim, and I'm sometimes like, man, I wish I was that, because I would love to one day be able to learn enough Arabic to where I can buy an Arabic Quran. I would love to do that. I'm not planning on learning Arabic right now. I'm planning on mainly learning Islam first, and then I'll get into learning that language of Arab, and I kind of feel a little bit envious. Now I know what it's like to grow up being a white kid, because where I live, everyone speaks Spanish. I know fluent Spanish. It was my first language. And, now I understand what it's like to be that one white kid who didn't know Spanish, and now that's how it feels like when I see different shites. They'll be able to speak this, they'll be able to precisely speak Arabic, the word of the Prophet Muhammad when the Quran was revealed to him by the angel Gabriel, and they'll be able to recite all these names, all these words in Islam. Meanwhile, I'm over here struggling to say Assalamu alaikum, which I think I've been getting better at it, but inshallah, astaghfirullah, I'm trying to learn, at least I'm trying to learn the phrases, because I think it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful that we know the origins of this beautiful Quran, and as much as I love this English version, I would love to one day just be able to pick up an Arab one and be able to read that off. So, but that's not the important part. The important part is to know about the true Creator, and that's the thing I'm focusing on mainly, trying to better my life. I am trying to learn, I haven't told my parents, and my friends do know, but that's only because I post that on social media. I've been posting verses of what are in the Quran and how this is the truth. I don't know how I'm going to tell my mom, because it's, when you believe in one thing your whole life, especially her, she's in her early 50s, and I think I said this in my last video, but she had never seen a physical Quran until I showed her this one. And that's crazy. She lived 50 years on this earth and she's never even physically seen a Quran. So that's just insane. But I do want to eventually study enough Islam so that I could, spread the good word of the Lord, because I think it's crazy that there's this truth that I didn't find out until I mean, I learned it when I was 21, but now I'm 22. But it took over 2 decades for me to even learn how beautiful it is, uh, of this of this um, of this amazing, truth of Islam. So one day I hope to buy a Spanish Quran so I could teach my mom, teach my dad, teach my family members. I'm actually excited for the next family reunion. I plan to go to Mexico, I think, in the next 2 months. And when they ask me like, hey, what's your religion? I can be like, yeah, I'm Muslim. And they'll be like, what the heck? A Mexican being Muslim, bro? We expect Muslims to be, wearing a hijab. And I'll have to be like, no, only the women wear hijabs, but there's also other clothing. But I still got to learn though, so apologize if I got something wrong. But it'll be kind of funny having to explain things, because to me, when I first learned Islam, what caught me off guard was knowing that Jesus was in the Quran. Like when I found that out, I think that's when my mind started to shift so much, because again, you just grow up being told, Islam, or at least here in America, you're just told Islam is the terrorist religion. They kill babies. But then I'm like, bro, in America, you're literally able to walk into offices and kill the baby still in your womb. Okay, I think if we're talking about baby murder, like America's kind of the capital of that. America's turned into satanic paganism, but that's a whole nother conversation we had. But anyways, inshallah, brothers, assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters too. Allah Akbar, and much love to everyone, not just my Muslim brothers, but much love to all of us, because we are all from the one Creator. So thank you for watching, and see you on the next one. Ciao.